Captain Alex Raines sat in the cockpit of the starship Endeavour, watching the purple and green haze of planet Xyrith swirl below. He had explored many planets before, but this one was different. Its surface was marked by jagged mountains, deep valleys, and what looked like the ruins of a long-lost civilization. Sensors detected signs of intelligent life, but no transmissions had come through. "Captain," said Lieutenant Mara, his second in command, "our scans show a large structure near the valley. It seems intact, or at least partially." Alex leaned forward, squinting at the holographic display. "That looks like a palace," he said, curiosity lighting his voice. "And if it is, someone or something might still be inside. Let's go take a closer look." The team suited up and Alex led them down to the planet in a small shuttle. The air was thin but breathable, and the gravity slightly heavier than Earth's. As they landed, the ruins of the palace rose above them like the skeleton of a forgotten world. Broken towers jutted into the sky, and vines crawled over the cracked stone walls. Alex moved cautiously, scanning the area for threats. "Stay alert," he said. "We don't know what's left here." As they approached the entrance, a soft sound caught Alex's attention. It was faint, almost like a whisper coming from inside the palace. He signaled the team to pause. "Do you hear that?" Lieutenant Mara tilted her head. "It's someone calling for help?" Alex nodded and stepped forward. "We need to see who it is. Keep your weapons ready, but stay calm. I want to handle this carefully." The team entered the palace carefully, moving through halls lined with alien symbols and murals, showing scenes of a civilization Alex could only guess at. The walls had cracks and burns, signs of some battle long ago. In the main hall they found her. A young alien woman was crouched on the floor, her clothes torn and her eyes wide with fear. She had pale blue skin and silver hair that shimmered in the dim light. Alex noticed the delicate patterns on her forehead, glowing faintly. Clearly she was someone of importance. The alien looked up as the humans approached. "Please," she said in a soft voice, her words trembling. "Please, help me." Alex stepped closer but kept his hands visible. "We're not here to hurt you," he said gently. "My name is Alex Raines. We are explorers. Can you tell us what happened?" The alien's eyes filled with tears. "I'm Princess Liara. My ship, my people, they are gone. A warlord attacked. I barely escaped. Please help me, please." Her voice was almost a whisper, but it carried the weight of desperation. Alex felt a surge of responsibility. He had seen many species in trouble before, but the sincerity in her eyes was undeniable. "We will help you," he said firmly. "We need to get you to safety first. Then we can figure out how to find your people." Liara's lips curved into the faintest smile. You are human?" "Yes," Alex said. "And humans help those in need whenever we can." She blinked, trying to believe it. No one else could help me." Alex motioned for his team to check the area. "We'll need to repair your ship if we want to get you off this planet safely. But first, can you tell us where it is?" Liara nodded, leading them through narrow corridors and broken stairways to a hidden hangar. There, partially covered in debris, was a sleek ship, its surface scratched and battered. It was sabotaged," Liara said, her voice trembling. "The warlord's soldiers did this before I could escape." Alex crouched beside the ship, running his hand over its alien surface. "This is advanced tech," he said, examining the controls. "It will take some work, but I think we can get it running again. I just need your help understanding a few things." Liara stepped closer, studying him with a mixture of hope and fear. I will do anything," she said softly. "Anything to see my people safe." Alex smiled gently. "Good, we work together then. I will guide you and you will tell me what you know." "We need to move fast." The first challenge came quickly. As Alex started examining the ship, a sudden tremor shook the hangar. Dust fell from the ceiling and cracks appeared in the walls. Liara gasped, clutching at a pillar for support. "What's happening?" she asked, panic rising in her voice. Alex stood tall, keeping his own fear in check. "This planet isn't stable," he said. "We need to finish quickly. Stay close to me." He worked fast, using his human tools alongside alien tech. Liara watched, fascinated. Every time he adjusted a console or repaired a wire, she whispered, How can you do that?" Alex laughed softly. "Humans are adaptable. We figure things out. Sometimes it takes trial and error, but we never give up." Liara's eyes widened. She had never seen anyone approach technology like this, blending knowledge, logic, and instinct. "You," You are remarkable, she said, almost in awe. Alex glanced at her. We all have skills. Yours might be just as remarkable in other ways. Right now we need to focus on this ship. The hours passed quickly. Alex and Liara worked together side by side. The humans lifted heavy debris, while Liara used her knowledge of the ship's systems to guide repairs. Slowly the engines began to hum and lights flickered across the console. At last the ship powered up. Liara's face lit up with relief and gratitude. It works, she whispered. You have saved me. Alex nodded. We saved it together. But we're not completely safe yet. This warlord may still be nearby. We need to be ready to move as soon as possible. Liara's eyes filled with trust. For the first time in days, she felt hope. I cannot thank you enough, she said. I have never met a human before. You are brave. You are clever. Please, stay with me until we are safe. Alex gave a reassuring smile. We will get through this. Stick with me, princess. Together we can do anything. As they prepared to leave the hangar, a shadow moved across the ruined walls. Alex's instincts went on alert. The planet was full of dangers, and this was only the beginning. But for now, with the ship repaired and Liara by his side, Alex felt a spark of hope. He knew humans could face almost anything. And Liara? She was about to see exactly why humans were admired across the galaxy. The story had begun. The Endeavor hovered quietly above the planet as Alex guided Liara through the ruined city streets. Shadows from broken towers stretched long across the cracked pavement. Dust swirled in the thin wind, and the air smelled faintly of ozone and burned stone. Every step they took felt uncertain, but Alex moved with confidence, scanning for danger. Stay close, he instructed. This place is full of traps and unknown hazards. One wrong step, and we could trigger something dangerous. Liara followed silently, her eyes wide with awe and fear. I never thought I would see humans like this, she whispered. Brave, calm, unafraid. Alex glanced at her and smiled faintly. We stay calm because panicking doesn't help. Focus, think, act. That is what humans do when facing danger. They reached what remained of a city square. Broken statues of unknown beings leaned at odd angles, and shattered fountains were dry. Their mosaics cracked and faded. Alex noticed tracks in the dust, large clawed footprints moving toward them. Lieutenant Mara, Alex called over his communicator. Get a visual. We may not be alone. Mara's voice came back steady. I see them, Captain. Scavengers, at least 4 armed. They look hostile. Alex nodded, crouching behind a toppled wall. Good, stay calm. We handle this carefully. Liara, stay close to me. The scavengers stepped into the open, moving with a mixture of caution and aggression. Alex studied them, noting their behavior. They were fast, but their movements were predictable. Watch this, he murmured. He picked up a small device from his belt, pressing a button. A holographic decoy flickered to life across the square, drawing the scavengers' attention. They charged, claws raised toward the illusion. Liara gasped. You tricked them? Alex nodded. Humans don't just fight with strength. We use our minds. Sometimes thinking is more powerful than any weapon. The scavengers reached the hologram and realized it was fake. They snarled and turned toward Alex and Liara. But by then the humans had moved silently to higher ground out of reach. Using pulsed nets from their equipment, Mara caught 2 of them, leaving the others confused. Liara's eyes were wide. Your skills are amazing. You saved me, without hurting them too much. Alex shrugged. We aim to protect, not destroy. Sometimes strategy is better than force. They continued deeper into the ruins, moving toward a smaller hangar that Alex had spotted on his sensors. Liara's hands brushed over the walls as they walked. I have never been back here since the attack, she said softly. Every step reminds me of what I lost. Alex glanced at her. You're not alone anymore. We're here to help. Step by step, we fix what's broken. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed from above. Alex barely had time to push Liara out of the way as a piece of the roof fell. Dust filled the air. Liara coughed, gripping Alex's arm. This place is unstable, he said calmly. But we move carefully. Follow me. They reached the hangar and peered inside. Liara's ship sat in the center, its hull scratched but intact. But scattered around it were broken parts, damaged circuits, and exposed wires. Alex knelt beside the ship. We need to clear this area and repair what we can. Liara, I'll need you to guide me. You know this technology better than I do. She stepped forward, brushing her silver hair from her face. I will help. Tell me what to do. As Alex began examining the ship, Liara noticed movement outside the hangar. More intruders, she whispered. Alex glanced up, analyzing the shadows. Yes, but we can handle this. Let's make sure. The alien ship sat quietly in the clearing, its silver hull scarred and burned. The engines gave a faint hum, but the systems were unstable, warning lights flashing across the panels. Alex Rains stood beside it, hands on his hips, studying the damage with sharp eyes. He knew this was no ordinary repair job. Princess Liara stood nearby, her hands clasped together. Her silver hair caught the dim sunlight, and her blue skin seemed pale with worry. Can it truly fly again? She asked softly. Alex gave her a reassuring nod. It can. Nothing is beyond repair. But it won't be easy. This ship is wounded, and so is this world. We'll need patience and persistence. Liara looked at him with wide eyes. Your people? Do you always speak with such certainty? Alex smiled faintly. Humans have learned to fix what others call impossible. On Earth, we built machines that crossed oceans and reached the stars. We survive because we don't give up. He turned to his team. Mara, set up camp. We'll need power lines, tools, and sensors ready. This could take hours, maybe days. But we'll get it done. The humans unpacked their equipment, placing bright lamps around the ship and rolling out crates of tools. The area filled with the hum of generators. Liara watched in silence, amazed at the teamwork. The humans moved like they had done this many times before, each one knowing their role, no words wasted. Alex climbed into the ship's open panel and began testing circuits. Sparks flew and smoke curled upward, but he did not flinch. He adjusted wires, cut off burnt connections, and attached new ones using human clamps. The alien systems protested, flickering on and off, but slowly they responded. Princess, he called, I'll need you here. Tell me what these panels control. Liara stepped forward carefully. This one regulates the core energy. And here, this is the stabilizer. But it was damaged when I tried to escape. Alex studied the parts. Then we'll bypass the damage and reroute the flow. It won't be perfect, but it'll keep you flying. Liara watched as he worked, his hands steady even when sparks jumped dangerously close to him. Sweat rolled down his face, but his expression remained focused. He hummed softly as he worked, like a man fixing something ordinary, not a starship far beyond his own technology. Why do you not stop? She asked, wonder in her voice. You work without rest, without fear. Alex's answer was calm. Because lives depend on it. Stopping is not an option. Humans endure storms, hunger, and darkness. We keep going until the job is done. Liara lowered her gaze. My people. When the warlord attacked, many fled. Many gave up, but you do not even think of giving up. Alex's eyes softened for a moment. Fear is natural. But giving up means losing everything. We don't let fear rule us. Hours passed. The sun dipped low and alien winds began to rise, howling through the ruins. A storm was coming, one that carried lightning and acid rain. Mara reported, Captain, we've got less than an hour before the storm hits. If we're not inside that ship by then, we'll be in trouble. Alex wiped the sweat from his brow. Then we finish before it arrives. Everyone focus, Liara's voice trembled. You cannot work in such a storm. It will destroy you. Alex looked at her firmly. Then we beat the storm. That's what humans do. The winds grew stronger, rattling the equipment. Dust and sparks filled the air. Liara shielded her eyes, her heart pounding as she watched Alex continue to work. His hands moved faster, guided by instinct as much as logic. He used wires from human gear to replace alien parts, reshaping them until they fit. Finally, with one last connection, the engine roared to life. The ship's lights glowed bright, steady, and strong. The hum filled the clearing, drowning out the sound of the storm. Liara gasped, covering her mouth with both hands. You did it. You made the impossible possible. Alex climbed out of the panel, his clothes stained with grease and dust. He gave her a small smile. No, we did it. You guided me. Without your knowledge, I couldn't have done this. Liara shook her head, tears of relief in her eyes. No, Captain. Many before you tried and failed. Only you had the will to see it through. But before they could celebrate, thunder cracked overhead. Green lightning streaked across the sky, striking the ruins nearby. Acid rain began to fall, hissing as it hit the stones. The humans scrambled inside the ship, pulling Liara with them. Inside, the air smelled of fresh metal and burning circuits, but it was safe. The ship shook as the storm raged outside. Alex sat at the pilot's seat, checking readings. Engines are stable. Shields at 40%. We can fly, but not for long. We'll need to find a safe zone. Liara sat beside him, her hands trembling. Captain, you risked your life in the storm. For me, Alex looked at her calmly. Not just for you. For everyone who still depends on you. You carry the hope of your people. That is worth any risk. Liara turned to him, her voice filled with emotion. I never thought humans could be like this. You are more than warriors. You are builders, protectors, dreamers. You surprise me with every moment. Alex gave her a firm nod. Good. Because surprises are what humans do best. The storm roared outside, but inside the ship there was light, warmth, and hope. For the first time since her world had fallen, Liara felt safe. She understood now why Alex had spoken with such certainty. Humans were not like others. They were stubborn, creative, and unbreakable. And as the engines purred steadily beneath them, she knew this was only the beginning of a journey that would change everything. The storm passed, leaving the land soaked in glowing acid puddles. The alien sky turned dark purple as night settled over the ruins. Inside the ship, the humans rested briefly, though Alex did not close his eyes. He sat at the controls, staring at the radar screen. Something's wrong, he muttered. Mara leaned against the bulkhead, arms crossed. You mean besides being stuck on a war-torn world with half a working ship? Alex pointed at the faint blip on the radar. That we're being tracked. Princess Liara's heart tightened. She stepped closer, her voice shaking. It is him, the warlord. He never lets prey escape. If my ship is active, he will know. Alex kept his eyes on the screen. Then he'll come. And when he does, we'll be ready. Liara blinked at him in disbelief. Ready, Captain, you do not understand. His fleet numbers in hundreds. His ships carry weapons that destroy cities. He rules by fear, and no one dares fight him. Alex finally looked at her, calm but steady. Then it's time someone dared. The humans exchanged glances. Mara raised an eyebrow. Captain, you're not planning what I think you're planning. Alex gave a thin smile. We didn't cross the stars just to run. If he's coming, then we'll meet him on our terms. The next morning, the ship rose above the ruined city. Its patched engines hummed, shields flickered, but it flew steady. The crew set course for a canyon where jagged cliffs provided natural cover. From there, they could watch the skies. Liara sat beside Alex, her hands clenched in her lap. Why here? Why not keep fleeing? The galaxy is wide. Alex's eyes narrowed. Because if we run, he'll chase us forever. If we fight, we have a chance to end it. Liara stared at him. But how? Even with your bravery, how can humans stand against such power? Alex tapped the console. We don't match strength with strength. Humans fight differently. We use brains, not just brawn. Mara chuckled. Translation, we cheat. The canyon echoed with the sound of construction. The humans unloaded crates of explosives, power coils, and steel beams. They worked quickly, setting charges along the cliff walls and building decoy emitters. Liara watched in amazement. You build weapons from scraps. You turn ruins into traps. I have never seen such... She paused, searching for the word. Such creativity. Alex tightened a wire and grinned. It's not creativity. It's survival. On Earth, we learned to fight enemies stronger than us. Storms, predators, even our own mistakes. We don't wait for the perfect chance. We make it. By nightfall, the traps were ready. The humans hid their ship deep inside a cave, its hull cloaked with rock and sand. From above, it looked like nothing but shadows. Then the sky lit up. Dozens of warships descended, their black hulls sharp against the stars. Their engines glowed red, filling the night with thunder. At their center was the largest vessel of all, the warlord's flagship, a monstrous blade-shaped ship longer than a city. Liara trembled as she saw it. That is his heart, where he sits upon his throne. Wherever that ship goes, worlds bow. Alex studied it without fear. Good, then that's the one we hit first. The warlord's voice soon boomed across the comms, deep and cruel. Princess Liara, did you think you could flee? Did you think some fragile outsiders could hide you? I will burn your protectors and you will crawl back to me. Liara pressed her hands to her ears, her breath shaking. He always speaks like this. He believes no one can challenge him. Alex leaned toward the comms, his voice steady and sharp. This is Captain Alex Rains of Earth. You've hunted the helpless long enough. But now you've found us, and we don't bow. There was silence on the channel. Then a cruel laugh. Human? I have heard whispers of your kind. Small, fragile things, You dare defy me? Then you will die screaming. Alex switched off the comms. Let him think we're fragile. It'll make the surprise hurt more. The first wave of enemy fighters swept into the canyon, scanning for signs of life. They detected faint energy readings, just as Alex intended. Now, he ordered. Mara pressed the trigger. Explosives hidden in the cliff walls ignited, collapsing stone onto the enemy squadron. Fire roared through the canyon as ships crashed into. The warlord's flagship lay in burning ruins, pieces of metal glowing as they fell through the alien sky. The canyon, once full of thunder and fire, was now silent except for the crackle of cooling wreckage. The enemy fleet, leaderless and terrified, scattered into deep space. For the first time in years, the warlord's shadow was gone. Inside the patched human ship, the crew sat in stunned silence. Alex kept his hands on the controls, guiding the vessel to a safe altitude. Mara exhaled sharply, shaking her head. I don't believe it, she said. We just tore down the most feared warlord in this sector with scraps, rocks, and stubbornness. Alex gave a tired grin. Not bad for a day's work. Liara sat behind him, her eyes wide with wonder. Her people had lived in fear of the warlord for generations. To see his fleet scattered, his flagship destroyed, it felt unreal. She leaned forward, her voice soft but trembling with awe. You have done what no army, no council, no alliance could do. You fought not with numbers, not with power, but with courage and wit. You changed everything. Alex shrugged, though his eyes betrayed a spark of pride. He wasn't as strong as everyone thought. He just made people believe he was. Liara's gaze lingered on him. No, Captain. He was strong. It was you who were stronger. The following days passed in a blur. The humans and Liara's team worked to repair the ship fully, scavenging from the wreckage of fallen enemy craft. With the warlord gone, the skies were quiet, almost peaceful. Liara often walked among the humans as they worked. She watched Alex improvise with broken parts, saw Mara joking even when tired, and noticed how they treated one another as equals, always sharing ideas. To Liara, this was strange and new. In her world, command was rigid, respect was demanded by rank, and no one questioned leaders. But humans seemed different. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the ruins gold, Liara approached Alex where he sat repairing a coil. Captain, she said softly, I wish to understand something. He glanced up. Go on. You fight for me, though I am not of your kind. You risked your lives when you could have fled. You could have left me behind. Why did you not? Alex thought for a moment, then set his tools down. His voice was quiet but firm. Because it was the right thing to do. You asked for help. And when someone asks, we don't walk away. At least not on my crew. Liara blinked, taken aback. So simple, yet so powerful. She lowered her head. In my world, help is given only when gain is certain. But you give without condition. That pleases me. It gives me hope again. Alex smiled faintly. Then that's enough reason for me. 2 days later, Liara's people finally answered her distress signal. A smaller fleet of her loyalists emerged from hyperspace, their ships battered but still standing. They landed near the canyon, rushing to greet their princess. When Liara stepped from the human vessel, her people knelt, tears in their eyes. Many thought she had been lost forever. She raised her hands, silencing them. My people, she called, her voice steady. The warlord is no more. His shadow has fallen, and we owe our lives not to our armies, not to our weapons, but to these humans who stood by us when all hope was gone. The aliens turned their gaze toward Alex and his crew. They expected giants, monsters, or gods. Instead, they saw ordinary humans, scarred uniforms, tired faces, and simple tools in their hands. Yet there was something unshakable in their eyes, something that demanded respect. One alien leader stepped forward, bowing low. We will remember this day. We will remember your courage. Alex shifted uncomfortably. We didn't come here to be remembered. We just came to help. But Liara knew better. She saw how her people's eyes had changed when they looked at the humans. Fear was gone, replaced with respect and perhaps even admiration. That night, a great fire burned in the canyon. Liara's people celebrated freedom for the first time in many years. Songs echoed, strange instruments hummed, and laughter filled the air. Alex sat apart, watching the flames. Liara approached, carrying a cup of bright, glowing drink. She offered it to him. You sit alone, yet you are the reason they rejoice, she said. Alex accepted the cup with a nod. It was a team effort. Liara studied him in the firelight. You are unlike anyone I have known. You do not fight for glory, yet you achieve it. You do not demand loyalty, yet you inspire it. Tell me, Captain, is this the way of all humans? Alex chuckled softly. Not all, but I'd like to think it's what we aim for. Liara's expression softened. If it is true, then your kind will shape the stars. Because you carry something no empire, no warlord, no council understands. And what's that? Alex asked. She placed a hand gently over her chest. The will to stand for others even when no one stands for you. For a long moment they sat in silence, the fire crackling between them. Liara felt something deep inside her, a trust, a bond, a respect she had never felt before. The celebration lasted deep into the night. But Alex knew the warlord's fall was not the end. Other factions would rise. Other powers would test the humans. This victory would echo across the galaxy, but so would the challenge it carried. As the stars glittered overhead, Liara looked at Alex with steady eyes. My people are free because of you, but the galaxy is vast and danger is endless. I cannot face it alone. Captain, I implore you, stay with us. Lead us into this new age. Alex met her gaze, then glanced at his crew. Mara raised an eyebrow, waiting for his answer. We're explorers, not rulers, Alex said finally, but we'll stand with you. If the galaxy wants a fight, they'll learn what humans are made of. Liara smiled, relief flooding her features. For the first time in her life, she believed her people had a future. Not because of their armies, not because of their riches, but because of the strange, stubborn humans who never gave up. That night, as the fire died down and silence returned to the canyon, the bond between the alien princess and the humans was sealed, not of power, not of command, but of respect and trust. And far above, unseen in the stars, whispers already spread across the galaxy. Whispers of a new force, not an empire, not a fleet, but a small group of humans who defied a warlord and won. The galaxy would never be the same again. News traveled faster than ships. By the time Alex and his crew guided Liara's people to a safe haven world, rumors had already spread across nearby systems. Traders whispered in marketplaces, smugglers swapped stories in shadowed bars, and frightened governors listened to reports from fleeing warlord officers. The impossible had happened. The warlord who had ruled with terror for decades was dead. His fleet had shattered, and the ones who struck him down were not great empires nor ancient alliances, but a small group of humans from a distant, unknown world. Some called it madness. Others called it a lie. But the truth grew stronger each time survivors told it. The humans fought with cunning, with stubborn courage, and with a fire no one could match. On the refugee world, Liara stood before her people. Their camp stretched across rolling plains filled with tents, repair yards, and hopeful voices. For the first time in many years, there was laughter among her kind. Children ran freely. Soldiers walked without fear. At the heart of the camp, Alex's ship rested on a landing pad, patched and scarred from the battle. The humans worked on its hull, but their eyes often wandered to the sky, scanning for trouble. Liara visited often. She admired the way the humans never stopped moving, never stopped preparing. To them, safety was never certain. One evening, she found Alex sitting alone on a hill, watching the horizon glow with twin suns. His face was calm, but she sensed the weight in his thoughts. You are restless, she said gently. Alex glanced at her. We bought you time, princess. But the galaxy doesn't stop. Other warlords will see the gap. They'll come to claim it. Liara sat beside him, her gown trailing in the grass. Then let them come. With you, they will fall. Alex shook his head. We're not an empire. We don't have fleets, armies, or colonies. We're just explorers. Liara studied him for a long moment. Perhaps that is why you are strong. You fight not for conquest, but for what is right. That frightens tyrants more than any fleet. The next day, a council of nearby worlds arrived. Their ships carried envoys, leaders, and even spies. They gathered in Liara's hall, eager to confirm the stories. A tall envoy from the Catheran Union sneered as he looked at the humans. These are the warriors who brought down the warlord? These fragile creatures? I cannot believe it. Mara folded her arms and muttered, You're welcome. But Liara rose, her voice sharp with authority. Do not mock them. You see weakness because of their size, their tools, their numbers. But I tell you this, I saw them stand where no one else would. I saw them defy death itself, and I saw them win. The hall fell silent. The envoys looked at Alex, who stood quietly, hands behind his back. "I'm not here for your politics," Alex said simply. "We didn't come for power. We came because someone needed help." "That's what we do." The council members shifted uneasily. They were used to grand speeches, not simple truths. And yet, something in Alex's voice carried weight. For the first time, they realized humanity's strength was not in numbers or weapons. It was in will. That night, stories spread faster than fire. Children of different species acted out the battle in play, pretending to be humans who fought with rocks and wit. Soldiers spoke in hushed tones of human tactics, of traps and tricks that turned defeat into victory. Leaders debated whether to fear humans or ally with them. Across the stars, whispers grew.